Hello and welcome, this is EagleEye621, and as a bonus to this How to Get Invulnerable End Crystal video, I am going to show you a brand new glitch block that you have never seen before. Now we are in my Dragon Cheese world, and I suggest you watch that video, which I will link in the iCards, just in case anything goes wrong. But we're not just going to steal from the Ender Dragon, we are going to rob her blind. So let's see what we have going on here. Cages, not going to protect your end crystals. Nice try. And all of the rest of them, well, let's just watch as they all slowly get pulled off of the towers. And then Dragon isn't even going to be able to spawn. This last one over here can't quite make it in time. We tried, but we got just about all of them. And look at this one, is a little different than the rest of them. This is a brand new glitched block. Now, why don't you take a second, comment down below, why do you think this one is special? Give you a second or two if you want to do that, and I do highly recommend. And while you're down there, of course, make sure you're still subscribed and have all those notifications turned on. And what makes this one in particular so special is, well, you'll have to wait to the end of the tutorial for that. First, let me show you how to set all this up and how to build all of these things. And I gotta clean this up a little bit so that we can get started. And in order to set up this clock that you may have seen in the other video that shows a brand new glitched block, this is a different one in this video, this is what you're going to need. These are junk items, so it doesn't really matter which. The rest are exactly as you've seen, and this is a dispenser. And very quickly, let's get rid of this too. What you're going to do is take an observer and point it at one side of the portal where you're going to put your crystals. That goes into a block with a piston on top. Then we have a block with one air gap, and we're going to fill that air gap with a lever. And then this lever is going to be connected to a hopper, which is going to be powered. We're going to then add another block down here so that we can take a comparator signal, and that comparator signal is going to go into a repeater, which is going to be locked on by our second lever. And you can see we need to turn that off until we put our items in. So this is locked, and now it is not turning on, which is exactly what we want, so that we can have our dispenser here with our bit of TNT on the inside. And I'm just going to clean this up so we don't have any issues in that. And then you're going to come around and you're going to place down 3 of them, specifically not in front of the observer. And before we set this clock off, let's just grab a chest so that we have somewhere that we can put this 4th and final end crystal once we have our flying machines set up. And for the flying machines that are going to actually steal the crystals, this is what you're going to need. Bear with me for a moment. You're going to want 10 blocks, more or less, just to count. These are going to be destroyed. 2 sticky pistons, either 2 slime or 2 honey blocks, 2 observers, 4 more blocks. These really don't matter what kind, but smooth stone is very easy to see. A redstone torch with 3 bits of dust, and then 2 immovable blocks. I like the crying obsidian because it's easier to see, regular obsidian, or even a furnace, and then just a bunch of counting blocks. And then specifically, if you're trying to steal the ones from the cages, you're going to want 1 more block, a rail, and then 3 mine carts with TNT. Let's get those all into the inventory and get started. And this is one of the ones that's going to spawn with a rail. So we're going to come around in the direction that you're going to want the flying machine to fly, the opposite direction, and we're going to count out 10 blocks. So if I'm starting and counting in this direction, I want the flying machine to go in that direction. So this is 1, and you do want to start exactly at this level, right there at that bedrock. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Some quick counting with Eagle Eye 621, and slap your immovable block right on top of that. Then we're going to put our slime block, or if it's your honey block, you can put your honey block there. And over next to it, let's get rid of these. We're going to put our sticky piston and our other slime block or honey block. And then in the other direction, we're putting our second sticky piston. Our observers are going to go facing over so that the output is above the piston. And we're going to do that on both sides. This is a two-way flying machine. It's important to note that the observer that you set off, if you want to think of it this way, will go opposite direction. So if I were to try and set it off here, it won't go because we have our immovable object. If you set off the other one, your flying machine is going out into the distance, never to be seen again. So now we're going to take the 4 blocks I mentioned. Right here is our 1, 2, turn that corner, 3, and 4. And you'll notice that this one is lined up with your immovable object. That is where our redstone torch goes. And then our 3 bits of dust are coming around just like that. And now, when the dragon respawns, it deletes everything within a 10 blocks of this on all sides. It's going to delete this torch and this immovable object. That's going to unpower this redstone dust, which is going to activate this observer and send the flying machine off in this direction. Now, because this is one of the rails, so we're going to want to put down our block, and then we're going to add our rail, and then 1, 2, and 3 mine carts with TNT to destroy the fence gates or the iron bars, and that is in order so that our flying machine will actually work. If you're using something that doesn't have them, then you don't need to do that. So let's get rid of those, and I'll do this one more time. And I'm going to use the honey blocks this time. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 with our immovable block on top. We're going to put our honey block there this time with our sticky piston just like this, and then our second honey block, our second sticky piston, and then the observers so that they're outputting over those sticky pistons. And then this is the one because we're going to set it off in that direction. So we're going to have this 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's get these back with our redstone torch and then our redstone dust. Now we are almost done, but very importantly, you'll know that this is going to just head off in this direction. You'll notice a pillar is in front of it in that one, but we're going to want to stop this at some point. So at the level here, which is the one above the bedrock, you're going to want to build out, which is what the rest of that was, as far as you're going to want it to travel. And let's stop it right here, and we can put our other immovable block back, and then we're going to have to destroy this. So if you don't have beacons set up, you may want to just use some dirt or something. And then the same down here. You have to decide where you want this to stop, so it doesn't just continue to fly out into the void. So as far out as you want, and generally you're going to want to line it up with your portal. And then our block, just like this. And then we are ready to go. We can do this for all of them if we would like, or just as few as we want. And before I set it off, let me explain why this block is so special. It's a brand new glitch block, and the reason is, one more chance to send a comment down below, not because it does not have the beam, that's interesting, not because it's on fire, that tends to happen to some of these invulnerable end crystals when you move them into the overworld, but this was an end crystal that is and can be moved, but at the same time, if I were to grab some snow, and let's get rid of these blocks because we're not going to need them anymore. The thing about invulnerable end crystals, and you need to switch into survival mode so you don't destroy them, is if you see that I can target that one way over there, and I may be terrible at throwing snowballs, but I'll go closer. You can't destroy those. They're invulnerable end crystals. You can't move an end crystal and then destroy it. Except for... let me get behind this one, so you probably know what's about to happen. Yeah. That's an end crystal that you can move, but can still explode. So how's that for an interesting new glitch block? And just so you're convinced that I'm not just terrible at throwing snowballs, if I get into survival mode here, you can throw all the snowballs, you can punch it. It's an invulnerable end crystal. You can't destroy it. That's what it means to be an invulnerable end crystal. Back into creative mode so we can set off our machines and just confirm that what you saw does indeed work. Let's grab that last end crystal and set it off here. You'll notice that we'll set off our clock and the beam will turn back on, and as soon as this one, it will destroy the iron bars and it destroys the immovable objects, and you can see that we have our invulnerable end crystals being stolen from the dragon, and those will come alongside a very messy sky, and you can see perfect timing, no end dragon. And in case you are wondering, yes, these invulnerable end crystals will heal the dragon, and no, you cannot destroy them just because they're here when the dragon is here. In order to destroy them, you need to move them back onto this platform and resummon the dragon with them. But yeah, that's quite the end dragon fight with no way to stop it from healing. So unless you're very good with the bed techniques, or you watched the Dragon Cheese video and can do constant damage to it, good luck trying to actually kill the dragon this time. If you found this video interesting, I would appreciate that like. Found it helpful, maybe even consider sharing it with one of your friends or your favorite Minecraft YouTuber to see if they will do this in their world. Speaking of Minecraft YouTubers, there have been a couple others that have done some similar end crystal immortal stealing from dragons. I will give a specific shout out to Rayworks, who I think did one of these videos back in 2016 before you could even make these tiny flying machines. I'll have that link below. So maybe they'll build this in their world, especially that brand new trolley end crystal which you can move and still explode. And for more videos like this, do be sure to subscribe and turn on all those notifications. And if you're interested in supporting my channel, there is a join button which has more information right next to that subscribe button. Thanks for stopping by.